Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today, man, this is a video I really didn't expect to make because, this whole situation really kind of happened months ago, like I kind of figured the train kind of already left the station when it came to this whole situation, but I think that maybe in the videos I made before this one, I had mentioned something about, like, this guy's gonna get the karma that he deserves, or he's gonna finally get whatever he has coming to him, something like that, right? Because I feel like that's what everyone's reaction to this guy was in the first place, right? Like when you see the videos of him going around on the train in Japan, being racist to Japanese people, or you see him trespassing on construction sites, or going into restaurants and playing loud noises and music to annoy everybody, or getting in altercations with people on the sidewalk and getting slapped up, right? Like, you see those kind of things going on, and you, I would think, assume that, hey, yeah, this guy's eventually, bro, he's gonna get what's coming to him. Someone's gonna finally deal with this fucking guy, and it's not gonna go well for him, right? And it turns out that, well, I was right. Go figure. I was correct, guys. So you guys may remember a few months ago here on the channel, and really it just kind of went viral in general. We talked about a situation where this kick streamer was in Japan, right? And he was going around just, harassing people, doing different annoying shit every day, just screwing with people as they're trying to, like, live their daily lives, go to work, go out to dinner, do whatever it may be, right? He's just going around and screwing with people for profit on his streams. And of course, he's not doing this shit on, like, YouTube or Twitch or wherever because, well, he'll get banned for a lot of the things that he's been doing. So he's been on Kick, which unfortunately is a cesspool at this point, full of people who typically can't cut it on, like, other streaming platforms because they do annoying shit with their content. Like, I hate to generalize all of Kick like that because of a few people like this, but in reality, I have never seen a story of a good Kick streamer. I never have, man. Like, never once have we talked, I think, about a public situation involving a Kick streamer. It's always them doing the most annoying, lame, just stupid shit possible. And I mean, this guy is a prime example of all of that, right? So it turns out the guy's name is Johnny Somali. I hate even saying his name because I know that's basically what he wants, right? He wants that fucking attention. He wants that clout or whatever. But it looks like, if this whole situation actually holds up, bro won't have to be too worried about clout in the future because his streaming career, at least in Japan, looks to be over with. Infamous streamer Johnny Somali made international headlines with controversial Kick broadcasts from Japan where he'd harass locals and even confront other streamers. His antics finally caught up with him in September when Somali was arrested for allegedly trespassing on a construction site and was even arrested again for disrupting a restaurant by entering the kitchen and playing loud music. On December 19th, Somali appeared in court but disputed some of the charges for forcible obstruction of business. Alright, so before we go further in the article, I want to point out something here, because I didn't know this, actually. I live in the United States, it's obviously different here, but apparently in Japan, the police and the prosecutors just don't fuck around, bro. Not only are they extremely good at their jobs over there, but they don't miss. Like, they literally just do not miss. The Japanese court system has a 99% conviction rate when it comes to, let's say the prosecutor brings charges against you, whatever it may be. Maybe you littered, maybe you killed 3 people, whatever it may be, right? There is a 99% chance that if you are charged with something, they are convicting your ass. And the reason this is, apparently, according to what I've been reading online, this is because the Japanese police, they don't just file charges. Like here in the United States, you can get charged for something and be out of it the next day because, a lot of the times charges can be pretty flimsy, they don't have the evidence gathered, right? Whatever it may be. But in Japan, if they're putting charges to you, they're getting the proof that you did that shit. And they're gonna make sure they convict you for doing it. So, like, the moment this guy got involved with the Japanese authorities, there was a 99% chance it was not gonna go good for him. And so they got him in there on charges of forcible obstruction of business, which, I mean, truthfully, it makes sense, right? Like, this guy is apparently trespassing on construction sites where I'm assuming maybe people were working, and even if they weren't, right? Like, he doesn't need to be there. He's going into restaurants and playing loud music and annoying shit while people are trying to just eat or do their jobs or whatever, right? Just fucking with people because he can. Like, there's so many different videos of him going around and just doing shit like this to anywhere and everywhere that he can, you know what I mean? He'll do it on the train, he'll do it in restaurants, he'll do it in stores, he'll do it on the sidewalk. He doesn't really care. There's no safe space from this guy, right? In Osaka District Court, Somali claimed that while he was filming in the restaurant, the audio came out automatically when a viewer reacted to the stream and he wasn't in control. According to Yahoo, in addition to the music, Somali had also made remarks about wanting to drop atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, comments that are common during his broadcasts. So yeah, he's trying to like make fucking excuses in court, right? Like, oh, when I go into McDonald's and, you know, some guy donates me $10 and it plays Gooba Gubba Da Goo, I'm not in control of that, man. I don't know why it makes that fucking sound, you know? It just so happens that before I enter the restaurant, I go on my fucking Streamlabs and I set it up that when anyone donates me money, that happens, right? So he's trying to like play dumb with the court, like, oh, I didn't know it was gonna do that, but as if he didn't hook it up hardwired to do that shit when people donated. Like, he's trying to act like he didn't know what was going on, but obviously anyone with even like the most minute streaming knowledge would know this guy purposely set that up to do that shit. And then of course, you know, we've already talked about him talking about these atomic bombs comments and shit, right? Like, he just does weird shit that's not funny and that isn't entertaining and is just racist or annoying or whatever it may be, right? Like, there's no fucking humor here. There's no joke here, you know? Somali, who had been in custody since his second arrest, requested leniency. Quote, "It was an embarrassing act that inconvenienced employees and customers," he said. "I swear I will never record or distribute any kind of video in the future." And then it shows this tweet from this guy. Honestly, I don't know if this is a very verifiable source. I mean, that's being quoted in the article, but it's just showing like the media coverage of the whole thing, right, happening in Japan. And it does say in the tweet that he apparently has made and broken similar apologies prior to his arrest. So I'm guessing there's been some sort of like a circumstance in the past where maybe he's been in trouble somewhere and, you know, he promised he'd never do it again or whatever, and then he just gets out of the charges and does it again. So, you know, obviously the wonder is now, will he be allowed back into Japan? Will he be allowed to, you know, stream and whatnot? He's promising that he'll never do something like this again, but like this says, he's done this before. And just once again, I want to point out that criminal justice system, 99% conviction rate, they don't really fuck around, you know, they don't really play around about stuff like this. So I don't see it going well for him. I mean, let's just talk about it this way, right? Let's say, hypothetically, he does go back to Japan, he somehow gets out of this, he goes right back to streaming. Either A, he's gonna do something that gets himself in trouble again, and the courts are eventually, they're gonna stop giving him fucking leniency, right? Like, if you're the judge and this guy's been in here for the same thing 7 times, are you gonna be lenient with him again, you know, for an 8th time? Is that really in your best interest, you know? So he's eventually either gonna run out of leniency and they're gonna just crack the fuck down and ban him from the country or put him in jail or something, right? Or even if like the court doesn't do something, like I've said in previous videos, dude, he's gonna run into the wrong person while he's doing this shit, while he's being annoying and obnoxious, and someone's gonna really fuck him up. I mean, we've already seen him get bitch slapped on video. We've seen him get punched and beaten up on video, which notably, every time this happens, he never does anything back. He just takes it like a pussy. To be fair, he is, I don't want to be racist, but he is a black guy in Japan. If you know anything about like black people in Asia and whatnot, the racism there is pretty crazy from what I've heard towards black people. So maybe not something he would want to do, right? Like fight back or whatever, because maybe it would look bad for him, you know, being in Japan, you know, the guy beats up's Japanese and he's like a black immigrant or whatever. Probably not the best look for him. So I guess I can maybe see why he doesn't fight back or whatever. But like, I mean, once again, eventually he's going to run into some fucking dude who's with the Yakuza or is just having a bad day or something, man. And it's gonna go wrong. Like, it's going to go wrong. And we've already seen the warning signs of it. Like, this guy might be making some fucking money on social media or whatever doing this, but what happens when that pay pig dries up, bro? You know? Like, what happens when you go to fucking jail or you get all your teeth knocked out and rearranged on the floor and you're sitting there playing fucking 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, shut the door, 5, 6, pick up sticks with your fucking teeth. Like, I don't think that's something people should have to go through. Like, I'm not even just making videos like, hey, don't do this because, like, I don't want the guy to get money or whatever. I want him to keep his fucking smile. Like, I want this guy to not have to wish for his 2 front teeth back for Christmas or just something terrible to happen to him. Like, that's a legitimate worry that this guy should have. Now, he's supposedly facing this like massive fine of like 200,000 yen. If you do the transfer, that's like a couple thousand US dollars. It's really, it's nothing too significant for a guy who his whole job is to commit these crimes, right? Like, I don't think he's going to be too worried about that. I'm sure his fucking viewers or whatever will definitely help him pay out that or whatever. So as of right now, his, I guess, let's see, verdict on this whole thing here. from the prosecution will be cracking down on January 10th, 2024. That will tell us whether or not this guy is even allowed back in Japan, right? Now, obviously, if he's not allowed back in Japan, he probably just goes somewhere else and starts doing the same shit, right? Like, he probably just goes to another country where he can stream and he tries doing it again. Eventually, I don't know how that's going to work out though, right? Because like I figure at some point, you know, if he keeps going to all these foreign countries and getting himself banned for acting like a fucking idiot or whatever, like there's no way that all these other countries he's going to try to go to won't find this out, right? Like if they fucking, I don't know, run his passport or whatever, right? They're going to eventually find out that like this guy just travels around doing shit like this. I don't know. It doesn't seem long-term feasible, and it just like, you see over the last few months how the consequences to this guy have finally started to been piling up, right? And I mean, as of right now, it's a question of whether or not he's even going to be allowed back in the fucking country. So it's just one of those things that it goes to show you, man, like, yeah, you can get that quick clout or that like annoying attention on social media you crave so badly, but you know, that shit is never sustainable in the long run. Like, if you don't do something actually entertaining and build a real audience on something that's sustainable, you're just not going to be doing well in the future, bro. So anyway, with all that being said though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about these annoying kick streamers and signing out. And that's a wrap on this video, but a big shout out to my Optimus Nation supporters. You guys are the real MVPs here. Your support with just $10 a month unlocks a treasure trove of exclusive videos, constantly updated, archived live stream VODs, and early access to all new uploads. Thanks for watching and see you soon.